So check it out. I just found out, saw this statistic, you could say, that single people are actually 45% more likely to find self-discovery and, fulfillment and all that good shit. 45% 45%, right? So what that tells me, this single life shit might be it right now in 2025. And I'm gonna speak from my own personal experience. Within this last 2 years, I've had an off and on situation of being single, being in a relationship with the same person, mind you. So we have built a lot of things together, which I'm grateful for. But I also gotta say, there was a lot of stuff that came with that, and a lot of things that, looking back on it, being in my present single place, that there was a lot of things that I felt like I was stressed out a lot about. There's a lot of pressures, that come with being a man in a relationship. That's all I'm going to speak on as a man who's in a heterosexual relationship. I can't speak about how other relationships go, but I'm saying in mine, I feel like there's a lot of pressure on being a man in that relationship. There's a lot of pressure on just being a man in a relationship, or being in a relationship, period, let alone a man in a relationship, right? I was stressed out a lot. I was happy, don't get me wrong. I was a lot of happy, great times. I learned a lot, gained a lot. But if I'm being honest, there was a lot of pressure, and I'm saying comparison now to where I'm at right now, single, I don't feel a lot of pressure. I feel a lot freer, there's a lot of stuff off my chest, off my shoulders, I don't have to, for one, I don't have to worry about, I don't have to be concerned about what I do, how what I do affects another person, right? Especially because if my intentions are good, which I'm always moving off good intentions, that's just the kind of person I am. I'm always moving with positive intentions, with good intentions, but somehow that can be misconstrued. That can be taken the wrong way with my partner, What I meant for was good for both of us, but how she may not see it that way, which is what I ran into a lot of times, Also, I don't have to be concerned with how she's spending her money, I know when you're in a relationship, two becomes one, right? But the income thing, I may not agree with how she spends her money. But meanwhile, I'm supposed to be I was saving my money. I'm gonna tell you what I was doing. I was saving my money for things that we could do, so we can move as a unit. But I have no control about what she does. I have no control on the fact that she's spending her money on, some personal things, that may not add to this we thing that we got going on. Because that's what my mind was constantly on, this we thing we got. I could have been doing all kinds of singles, individual stuff, because we are individuals, for sure. But I think the goal, at least for me, the biggest thing I kept in the forefront of my mind was, how's this going to work for both of us? How's this going to work for both of us? But if she, so these are things that I was going through, things that I think about when it comes to relationship life or single life, I can just move freer, I'm sure there are benefits, but right now we're talking about the benefits of being single, right? And if you are a single person at this moment, let me know what you're thinking in the comments. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Because I truly think in 2025, maybe it was more beneficial in the day to be in a relationship, but I think right now, 2025 and beyond, you are better off being single. I'm not saying be lonely, because we're gonna talk about that too. Sometimes people talk about singlehood, single life as this lonely life, and that doesn't mean being lonely at all. You can have lots of company. You can have lots of people. Your life can be filled with all type of people in your life. That's not what single's about.
I think single just implies that you're just not in a romantic, serious, monogamous relationship.
Right.
Basically, right?
For the most part, yeah.
I mean, because, because people, when they hear the word single, they think lonely, I think, in my opinion. They feel that means it's a negative connotation for the most part. When I've observed, when people say that, they say that almost like there's something negative about it.
Right, about being single, right.
Right, some people aren't comfortable with saying that they're single because it's synonymous with being lonely. Being single just means that you just chose, it should be out of choice. I mean, I don't think it's bad if it just can't get nobody to fuck with you like that. Yeah, I feel for you, you know. Like, I just think the world's too big for that, and I just don't think that's actually how it works.
Yeah.
So anyway, but if you're in a single position and you just don't have a monogamous person that you fuck with like that, or if you're in a serious committed situation, if you're just not, yeah, that's single. Doesn't mean that you just don't have a social life. Doesn't mean that you have no friends. Doesn't mean you have no family, no support.
Right.
You know, you may have a partner that you fuck with, but it doesn't mean that you guys are monogamous. Doesn't mean that you guys are necessarily going steady.
Right.
That's how I see it when I hear a person is single.
Right. It's not a committed situation.
So I say that to say is that you can still be single and still be very much in a very happy situation. You could still have a very complete whole life.
Right.
You know, I don't see anything wrong with that. I see the benefits to being single personally because I've been single for the last 3 years almost now. Maybe I'm almost embarrassed to say it in some ways, only because in my 3 years I have not had sex in 3 years, and that sounds rough. Believe you me. But in the first year of my time here, it was all just getting on my feet.
Right.
I literally had no time to
focus
people,
on
let
anything
alone
outside of that.
fucking,
Right.
you know, getting in relationships, romance. Nigga, I was going through some cold shit, and I got up out of that. But now, this portion of my life is just really not even about the stability part. It's just maintaining, just growth.
Right.
And that requires solitude sometimes. That requires personal space. That requires silence. And I can't get all that if I'm in a relationship.
That was the part I was really trying to get at in the beginning of this conversation, was the solitude that you get in being single.
Yeah.
I've never been able to do it in a relationship. I've never been able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've had the conversations about, hey, I need my personal space.
Yeah.
You know, I'm the kind of person that definitely needs his personal space.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, it's just, no matter how you say it, it never goes over that well. For me, it hasn't.
Yeah, it hasn't
You know?
for me either.
Once again, if you think it does work, show me. Tell me how it worked for you in the comments. Let me know, because I really want to know. How the fuck do you get that across without it being an issue?
Coming off like, I think we're going to break up.
Right, you know?
That's what they hear. We say, I need a personal
I need some space.
Here's, we're going to break up soon.
Right,
That's what
right.
they hear in their mind.
Right.
That means there's a problem. You know what I mean? And it could just, and for me, from my angle, it means just that. I just need my personal space right now.
Right.
It doesn't mean I love you any less. It just means I need it.
Right.
I'm a fucking Pisces.
Right.
I need my silence.
Yeah.
I need my personal time. So I don't fucking snap on your ass. You know what I mean? That's what I fucking need it for.
I just think we're in the times right now that maybe being single is really what it's about, you know? I think we should, as individuals, take more time to really know who we are, especially for those of you guys who are always in a relationship. I know a lot of people like that, who are always in a relationship, never really take out the time to really be by themselves. How do you even know who the fuck you are? How do you even know who the hell, what do you even want, truly want, you know?
That part.
If you're always underneath somebody, you're always with somebody, you're always attached to somebody, you know? And if you are one of those people who are always in a relationship, why? Is there a deeper reason why you feel the need to be in a relationship all the time?
I know in the past I was always in a relationship. Remember when I was younger?
Yeah, I
in my
remember.
20s and shit?
I remember.
I spent a lot of time.
I was the one that was single.
I
all
was the
time,
relationship guy. Because,
Yeah.
And when I think about why, I know for a fact, I know now in retrospect, the reason why I was always in a relationship, for one, it made me feel secure. Because it brought me security, because I came from a very not very secure place in my life as a person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that was something that having a steady person that I fuck with made me feel secure.
Mm-hmm.
And it gave me the security that I may not catch an STD out here wilding out.
Which is
what I mean?
which is one of the positives. I want to say that right now. Especially in LA County, I want to say that yes, that is the benefit of being in a relationship.
Because it's wild out here.
You can always,
It's a better chance
always,
if
right?
I'm fucking with the
But
same
I'm just
person,
saying the
you know?
likelihood of it is a lot smaller
Yeah.
as opposed to being single and running around here doing
Yeah.
that. You know what I'm saying? But being in a relationship, so there is one benefit. Let me say that right there, which is kind of what I saw. Not the only one. I want to make it sound like the only reason I was in a relationship, so I didn't want to catch STD out here. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of other reasons. So there's a lot of good things. I'm not knocking being in a relationship, in these committed relationships, but I'm just saying, for right now, given the times, I think people, generally speaking, are better off being single.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think that one of the benefits to being a single person is that you have the extra energy because you're not constantly being drained of it from another person.
Mm-hmm.
You have the focus to do the things that you wanted to do because you don't have the distraction. Now you can really refocus and recalibrate and think, okay, what do I really want out of this part of my life? what do I really want to do? Who do I really see myself as? What do I want to be? And when you're with somebody, sometimes when you're with them on a constant basis or like you're with them a lot, their influence is going to happen. It's going to happen. You're going to start talking like them, start saying the words they say. You're going to start almost picking up some of the ways they think.
Picking up their habits.
Picking up their habits, all that. So really, it's not really you no more. Not really. Because you just kind of, and there's nothing wrong with it, but it's just the way, it's kind of natural. Like you become a little bit more of a unit, so you kind of like harmonize your energy, so to speak.
Right.
So you're a little bit of her, she's a little bit of you, and that's cool. But now you've almost forgotten what's the whole point of you even getting into this shit.
Right.
You kind of got off path. It's blissful, a little distraction, but it's still a distraction.
And I also want to say, and this is facts, from my personal experience, all the goals, because I've always got goals that I'm working on, right? That's just part of my life. Always has been that way.
That's what we stand for.
But
growth.
Right. It's always been that way for us. As DV twins, as DV, our goal, we've always had these. We was raised that way. There's always these goals. There's always these growth ideas that we have. And I just feel like I get more of those goals accomplished when I'm single.
I know I do.
I wish it wasn't like that. I wish I could do it with somebody. And it's always important to always get with somebody who does have their own, who also has that mentality of always going after growth. That would help you. But even with those women that I've had that had that type of mentality, it still kind of got in the way of my own personal goals that I was going after. I didn't achieve them, or I didn't achieve them as fast as I could have and efficiently as I could have when I was doing it when I was single. Every time I do it when I'm single, I always meet them. There's no distraction there. And that's what I'm saying. There's always a distraction. As much as I might love that person, as much as we might get along very well, I ultimately think it's still kind of a distraction. I don't know if everybody feels that way. I'm pretty sure everybody doesn't.
It's a blissful one. It's good. It's great. It feels great. It's entertaining. It makes you feel good. It helps you pass the time. All those good things.
Yeah.
But it's a distraction nonetheless. I had to come to grips with that. Like, there's a lot of these things that I would like to really kind of just try to incorporate into my life right now, but I know realistically it's not the main goal. It's not the main picture. And I told myself that when I had a convo with my own self, like, if it ain't a part of the main goal, then it's just not time right now. There's so many things I would like to really address, but I know in my heart it's not the time to. If it was, it'd be here by now. Put it that way, because that's the way it works. If it was meant to be here, it'd be here. But I ain't out here chasing it. That's for damn sure.
Right.
So you know what I mean. But what I need to work is working. See, the difference is when I was in a relationship, I was going through all the other bullshit. I was trying to do the same thing, get my shit straight, focus, and build something. I was trying to do that simultaneously while trying to balance out a relationship. That's insane.
Right.
I cannot do that.
Right.
Some people can, but I had to be honest with myself and realize, no, I'm just not that guy. I can't do that.
Right.
I'm not good at that.
Right.
I can't be an honest and good boyfriend to you and be honest and real with myself.
At the same time.
At the same time, I can't.
Yeah, I admit that. And maybe that's something I should have been more honest with them about in the past. That I don't know how to juggle both.
Yeah.
I had to come to that conclusion.
Yeah.
Maybe one day I can get there, but I don't know how to juggle both.
Yeah.
It's hard enough trying to maintain my own personal shit at 40 years old. I still have a lot of struggle maintaining my own shit, let alone trying to balance out me and you, especially if you're in a situation where you got this partner who's expecting you to take on these manly roles, right? And it's sometimes that can be a lot of pressure. I'll just say it like that.
Whatever that
It could
means.
be a lot. Yeah, well, that all differs from person to person. But what I've seen, you hear about it online, you see it, you hear these women talking about what a real man is and what kind of man I need and all that kind of shit. But and it's a lot of expectations. I'll just say that. And maybe some men can handle it, and that's cool. And and still be productive is what I'm saying. Maybe can you do all that and still be productive though?
For yourself.
For yourself is what I'm talking about.
I'm glad you said that. I won't cut you off because
good.
I've literally watched from the outside looking in at people's situations where, even from some of my own past relationships, it's like you got these guys that are good guys in their mind. They're dedicated to their relationship, to their girlfriend, and all that.
Right.
But you putting all that energy into that. Meanwhile, you're suffering.
Right.
You're not loyal to you.
Right.
Which one's worse? Being a loyal nigga to your girlfriend in your relationship, but you're not being loyal to you now.
Right.
And I mean, like,
And where's the benefits in that, by the way? I want to know. I'm not saying there ain't, but I'm asking you.
Yeah.
Where are the benefits that you're reaping from being loyal to that relationship as opposed to loyal to yourself? Because I know what the benefits are of being loyal to yourself. Can you tell me what are the benefits to that?
To only being loyal to
Right. And don't say pussy.
the benefits.
Don't say getting pussy. 'Cause
The only benefit I see, I don't see any. I can't lie to you.
I sit and think about that a lot. Where are the real benefits? Where are the real obvious benefits?
Because in the same process, you're still losing. So
because I can still get pussy.
You're still losing. At the end of the day,
Right.
if I'm still losing, then this is a loss altogether.
Right.
Because I don't give a fuck how well you doing, bitch. I'm still losing. This is not gonna work for me.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it. Yeah, maybe it works for you, but it don't work for me initially. So if it don't work for me first, then it ain't gonna be able to work.
Right.
You know? Because I'm still gonna be in the back of my mind unhappy. How many times you been in a relationship like that where you know you ain't doing your best for you? But yeah, she's happy because she's getting what she needs.
Getting what she's getting fulfilled. Yeah.
But in the back of your mind, you know you're not really where you want to be, but
Right.
you're still trying to maintain this relationship because you think maybe it'll catch up.
And that's what happened with me.
I know. I played that game before several times. That's how you end up in toxic relationships.
Yeah.
You think that it'll catch up, it'll balance out.
Right.
But the reality is, you already are on two different paths. You're just trying to juggle it. You're being you're being delusional about it. Really,
Right.
like it's showing you it's not working.
Right.
You know, you spend 3 more years now. 3 more years,
And then
may
you
hope
get
it'll work.
And then you let this whole thing where, yeah, but we got so much love here, you know?
Right.
We
That's
got
the
so much
reminder,
love
right?
here, right?
Yeah, but then I'm like,
so you think love is supposed
then
to
I
make
get to
it?
thinking like this: if it was love, so that we should have. If it was love, don't you think we'd be happier?
Right.
Love should have brought us more abundance, not lack, not more stress.
Right.
Love should have brought us more peace.
Right.
So I start thinking: is it fucking love?
Well,
Or are we just codependent?
you might have, or you can have love, but I'll just say from my experience,
Yeah.
because I'm just getting off of the most recent situation. Love ain't enough. I'm not saying it ain't love. I'm saying love ain't enough. That's what I'm saying.
That part, right?
Love alone is not enough.
Yeah, I see like when sayings online and shit when they say growth is when. Growth is when. Growth is when. You know when they say growth.
Right.
I think growth is when you realize that love ain't enough.
Right.
That's when you realize that it's like, oh shit, this is not satisfying me anymore.
Yeah.
You know,
It's true.
it's like we talked about the other day. It's like the same drug that's gotten old. Yeah, you're still getting high off it, but is it really meeting your needs anymore?
Right.
Is it taking you any different?
Exactly.
Really though?
Right.
You know
Because love is one piece of a bigger picture. You know,
that part.
it's not the whole picture. It's not enough. Sometimes it's not enough to keep the whole thing moving.
It's not.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not.
At least in my experience. Once again, if that is not your experience, leave a comment and let's have a discussion about it in the comments because I want to know.
And another benefit to being single, I feel like people learn to be able to. First of all, you gain clarity. You gain clarity because, like I said, no distractions. And second, you actually get a chance to get into you, to really tune in and develop yourself. Maybe you can learn some new languages, a new talent, a new gift, develop a new skill, develop a new skill.
Right.
Go get a certification that you wanted to get, that you always said. Start a new. I did that personally. I started a new path career-wise that I just been putting it off for years, and I realized I'm finally on it. I realized right up under my nose. Let's go finish it. Because now I have that clarity. I don't have those distractions. That's the only. You know what? Now, honest to God, it's the only thing that I do say often. I'd be like, when I think about, damn, you know, it'd be nice to have a chick. You know what I mean? Like a steady girlfriend. You know. But I'd be thinking to myself, well, fuck. But look how much I got done. Look how much I'm getting done.
Right.
Would I ever been able to do that with this right now? I don't think I could.
I've never been able to do it.
You know, I don't think I would have been able to.
I've had great experiences for sure. I don't want to take that away. You know what I mean? I was introduced to a lot of things that I probably wouldn't have done if I was by myself.
Absolutely.
As far as experiences are concerned. You know
But
what I mean?
I know. But look, see, in this situation right here specifically, I most definitely had a long-term goal to pursue this particular path career-wise, right? But all this time, I always had it in the back of my mind, but I never looked into it because all those years, I was always in a relationship. And, you know, and it's like, it just never occurred to me. So, I don't know. I'm just saying, at the end of the day, I'm grateful for at least the fact that I have the clarity that I have now, that I don't have any distractions. When I see sometimes in other people's situations, I'm just glad that I don't have the distractions.
Right.
I don't want it right now. I just don't want it. You know what I mean? There's a lot of shit I want. But the distractions that come with it, I don't need it, don't want it right now. So I'm grateful that at least I have that. I'm not saying everything about being single is so fucking great and there's no downsides.
Right, of course.
But it's a trade-off for me. I'm willing to accept that for now, so I can get this because I see it working.
Right.
You know,
In that part. If it works, if it works for you, keep it up.
Yeah.
If it's not working, change it up.
yeah,
But ultimately, I truly stand on the fact that I think for most people, being single is the way to go right now.
yeah.
Let me know what you think. Share this with somebody if you think that they might be able to benefit from this, or they might disagree or agree. Either way,
Yeah.
share like, subscribe, all that good shit. Let's keep up this discussion. Let's keep up the conversation.
Yep.
All
I
right?
appreciate everybody that tuned in. I thank you for even thinking about us.
No doubt.
I love you. And I also love myself. And I love you because I love myself. So do yourself a favor and love yourself for yourself today. Fuck with you.
Cool.